Okay, so I am out of practice, it seems. Anyway, welcome one, welcome all to the one, the only Junk Shop Library channel, home of technical difficulties, unending, and me,
And me. Hi.
and her, and us.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so here's the thing. I had not planned on discussing the person in question, whose name now occupies a non-zero percentage of my live stream titles. And then, Julie Wine and Reason, say hello, darling.
Hi, I'm Julie from Julie Wine and Reason. I'm really pissed off, which is why we're talking right now. Sorry about the camera. It fucked up. We don't know why. Oh, also, this isn't for children.
And we're talking about stuff, as we do. Talk about stuff with your partners, however numerous they may or may not be, by the way.
It's a good plan. Oh, asexual atheist is pissed too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
And then we've got Nevermore. We've got I don't remember if asexual atheist is at this point using their name, so I'm sorry, I almost let it slip out, and so I don't know, so I'm refraining.
Oh, that's why you're grabbing my knee. I don't know what asexual atheist's name is, so it's fine.
And the inimitable Junie the Apostate.
Inimitable, I like that.
In the house. But Julie and I were discussing and venting, as one does with one's nearest and dearest. And then we found out that the one, the only, the gin-eist and truth-eist,
yes,
Robert Reed,
Uncle Bobby,
had discussed this, the particular topic that is foremost in both of our minds at this moment.
Yup.
On the YouTube channel he runs earlier today, I will go back and link the Gin and Truth on YouTube episode in the comments after the fact. I would have done that before, but we're running kind of short on time when we decided to pull the trigger on this episode. Anyway, all of which is to say, I think we've probably scared off the bulk of the haters and casual viewers by now. But
saw both episodes, says Nevermore.
Both episodes, yes.
Right on.
Nevermore. All right, my person. And
oh, Junie, you're not gonna like it.
Okay.
I wish we had good news for you. We do not.
Here's the business. We're going to give you the business. Get on the business end of our going out of business sale. Except we're not going out of business, despite what our various and sundry recent upload history may have led you to believe.
Lack of content is bad. We realize this.
It's Mr. Shadow Kitty, the marimba man himself, is in the house.
Shadow
All right.
Nice.
Okay, so this is going to be a little more unscripted and uneven. I am looking very intently and gesturing at our currently non-functional webcam, even than I normally would be.
Piece of shit.
It is. Okay.
Oh, so is Greg Abbott.
Also is Greg at Clink.
Clink. That was a
I have aluminum.
Clink.
She has plastic.
I have an adult.
What can you do?
I have an adult sippy novelty cup that says more booze, BOOS, please, for Halloween that I'm drinking wine out of because, yeah, I'm that middle-aged bitch. Okay, so.
All right.
Yeah.
So, real quick, before we dive in, because I know that once we dive in, we're not coming up for air for a hot fucking minute. And Asexual Atheist, I am so close to agreeing.
I strong agree.
You and I would have entirely too much fun over incredibly different halves of a pizza and very different drinks. Someday. Anyway, this is going to be a little more unbalanced, uneven, and unscripted than any of you watching either now live or after the fact are accustomed to, either from the Junk Shop Library channel or from the
hey, Julie Wine and Reason channel.
Because we ain't planned this for shit.
Nope.
Not even in our heads. It just sort of popped into our heads, mostly Julie's, that this would be a good idea.
I needed to talk about this.
I needed to talk about this.
And as the resident transsexual in the... Nope, that's not the right term. I am so sorry. What is wrong with me? Jesus Christ, guys, I'm sorry. When I get stressed out, I go to this weird Rocky Horror place in my head, and that was literally what I was picturing, was that song in that show. As the resident transgender person in the house, please don't everyone cancel me or hate me. Junk Shop, how you doing today, buddy? I love you.
Love
of my life.
Been better.
Yeah. I'm sensing that. Sitting right next to you and feeling the waves of anger coming up. And they're shared, by the way. I share the waves of anger. Oh my God. Okay, so we need to go over what Greg Abbott did. Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, go.
Unfortunately,
What's
Governor of Texas.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
I have family. I'm not going to say who. I have family that fucking lives in Texas.
By choice!
By choice. Moved there on purpose, and they vote. And they don't vote like we do, y'all. It's not good.
All right. I'm going to set this up so that Julie can knock this down. Julie found out about this borderline apocalyptic, not quite technically genocidal fuckstorm somewhere around 5:15 today, and it's currently, by my clock, 8:46. Because we are both #blessed.
No, fuck off with that shit. I love you, but ugh.
And fortunate enough, through the grace of no gods whatsoever, but professional connections and friends, to have somehow managed to obtain bankers' hours jobs.
Yep. It really is not about what you know, but who. Kind of fucked up, but it's how it works. Not just kind of fucked up. That's a whole other episode. Moving on.
True. And also, if you can believe it, old Junk Shop, even more of a night owl than Julie.
Normally, yes.
Most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So old Junk Shop has, most of the time, a little more sort of, shall we say, ambient exposure to internet culture.
And also, I've been in a state of retreating from reality for several months because reality has been a bit much.
Please check out Julie Wine and Reason channel's latest episode, only number 2, if you can but believe it, of the Dementia Diaries.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you, honey.
I'll go back and link that in the description as well, if I can ever bring myself to revisit this episode.
My darling sweetheart is mentioned this right before we went on. Oh, you don't have a link tree, do you? I was like, a what now? No, I do not. I need to know what that is. Thanks for hearing me, asexual atheist. Okay, let's continue. Greg.
All of which is to say, I'm not an enormous fan of the phrase trauma dump, especially given some of the discourse that's gone around trans and mental health Twitter, which is, largely my social circle nowadays, with a couple of bright and very shiny stars aside. But I did a little bit sort of trauma dump about this particular issue on my dear spouse. And real quick, in case you hadn't figured it out by now, and in case you somehow skated over Julie's caution at the beginning, this shit ain't for children.
Nope.
Old Junk Shop gonna smoke a quiet cigarette and gonna let my dearest darling Julie Wine and Reason catch y'all up to speed on the kind of fucked up, stupid ass, and we can say within very wide parameters, whatever we want right now, because this is going on Old Junk Shop's channel, who casts a pretty wide net and don't subject themselves to particularly many restrictions. What was I saying? Fucked up, Republican ass, stupid cracker ass bullshit that menace to progression of the human race, that horrible, I want to say degenerate, but it's been co-opted by some terrible people, by Mr. Greg Abbott, currently, by the grace of God, Governor of the great state of Texas, Gregory Abbott. Take it away, my love.
Okay, so, yeah, Texas, right? Big state, oil state, thinks the number one in everything. When, if you watch Robert Reed's thing earlier, they're only 43rd in the nation in education, and that's because, as Robert pointed out, that's because of Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama. Now, I work in Mississippi, I live in Tennessee, and we ain't that high up either, so I feel that. So what, basically, this is what happens when you don't have an educated voting populace. This is what happens when you have people who are too scared to change, or who, God forbid, are terrified they're going to run into something different and won't know what to do with that person. This is what happens when you sacrifice equality under the law for what you deem, and by you I mean Christian dominionism, to be morally correct. And it's basically a bunch of bullshit that will, okay. So early voting for the Texas primaries starts primaries. I'm sorry. Early voting for the Texas, sorry y'all, I'm having some wine. That's my brand, but I'm also really pissed, so that fucks up my ability to choose the right word as well.
Welcome aboard.
And I write for a living. Okay, so so Texas, who has this horrible governor, Greg Abbott.
Fuck you, Greg.
Piece of fucking human garbage. Has decided to declare war on the parents and children
and healthcare providers
of any transgender student minor in the state of Texas, which is a very large state. And as we know about their recent horrifically, I mean, Ursula Le Guin didn't even see this coming, draconian laws about abortion that they passed recently. We have women driving all the way from Texas to Memphis to visit Choices of Memphis and Planned Parenthood in Memphis to obtain the medical care they need, because they can't get it in their home state, not without somebody reporting them.
For a bounty.
And
teachers. Yes. Thank you,
and teachers. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm getting to it. I'm sorry. I got a little sidetracked on the abortion thing. So it started with that. Now they're going after transgender children and their parents. And they're doing this by classifying any kind. I love you too, asexual lady. I was an English major. They're doing this by calling any kind of transgender healthcare child abuse. That's what this bill that Governor Greg Abbott, asshole of all giant stinking assholes, has proposed the day before the goddamn early voting primary elections, because he wants to win over conservative voters like, evangelical Christians and people who are basically scared of anything that's not like them. So what this is doing, or what it will do if it passes into law, which unfortunately it really is looking like it's going to, and this had me in tears while driving through icy, wintry weather, learning about this today. Not a good place when you're the driver. You don't want to be like tearing up when you're also, driving through sleet and snow and shit. This is going to lead to teachers being bound by law to report any non-gender assigned at birth activity or dress or speech or basically presentation. They basically have to name names. Any of this sounding, and I know a lot of us are like, hey, stop comparing everything to World War II. It's not the same. But this is pretty fucking fascist is what this is. Naming names always strikes me as pretty fucking fascist. You want me to turn in my friends and neighbors because they're not like me? Yeah, gender police. Exactly, asexual atheist. Exactly, gender police. And the thing is, teachers everywhere. I was a teacher for 14 years. Now, I taught collegiate, but I have many, many friends who teach K through 12. And we are all bound by law to report any form of child abuse or neglect or abuse and neglect. If anybody's under 18, we have to do that. And that is a good thing. We report to social services and to the authorities because child abuse can go unchecked otherwise, and that is horrible. But if this law passes in Texas, it will make it illegal for a child to present in any other fashion than the gender they were assigned at birth. And if they do that, their teacher can be fined and or jailed for not reporting it. And so can their healthcare provider. So we're talking about teachers and doctors. Anyone treating transgender children in Texas as a medical professional can be charged, if this passes, with a crime. Also, if this bill passes, their parents will be charged with child abuse. The children will be taken out of their custody. And if anyone has ever dealt with DHS, that is a rough system. It's an important system. Don't get me wrong. But it's also very, very rough in the United States because when you're talking about foster care, you don't know. You don't know if you're going to a good place with good people or, yep, okay. And at this point, I'm going to throw it back to the person that I love so very much in this world because they got their degree in social work. And I want them to take this part because they know more about it than I do. With a really quick shout out to, hey, Mark Caesar, it's good to see you.
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
Part of...
I like the idea, Mark. Don't get me wrong.
And I know that I'm kind of treading on some toes a little bit here, but trust me, of all people, I'm very much aware that it is well and truly Julie's brand to bring things down.
You step all over my brand, though?
Well, guess what, motherfucker? I'm taking the baton and I'm running for the crown because it gets worse. Texas, the great state of Texas, as some of you may know, has a okay funded and okay, not particularly federally stepped on, and okay, long-lived history of conversion therapy.
Oh, God. I feel sick.
And a purely coincidental aspect of Greg Abbott's current position that he has entirely coincidentally come out hard on the side of his attorney general for on the day before early voting begins in the primaries before his gubernatorial campaign actually kicks off.
So fucking obvious. It's disgusting.
And in all honesty and truthfulness, I've got to shout out a person I know who probably doesn't want to be called out in this particular moment, but I see you, and I know you live in Texas, and I know that you are the reason why I am aware that this particular coincidence came to my notice. So, thank you. I've completely lost track of the diagram of that sentence, and that's not important in this moment. But conversion therapy. If we have no luck whatsoever, we have seen or heard about the documentaries. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Godless Sewing in Texas.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go.
Sorry.
Got it. Got it.
Godless Sewing is 100% correct. And that's where this next worst element plays in, at least until Greg Abbott and his, thank you, governmental oppression party kicks into absolute highest fury road high gear aspect of this mess. One of the various many intriguing and way beyond the wildest dreams George Orwell ever had while smoking meth ideas is that children who are reported to be receiving trans-affirming health care, or as apparently Texas is now deciding to call it, being subject to medical abuse.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's so stupid.
One of the things that's now on the plate here is that after the doctors are charged and the parents are incarcerated, the minors in question now stand a extremely non-zero risk of being indefinitely remanded into the care, the loving arms of conversion therapy clinics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the psychological and, lest we forget, physical, sometimes involving drugs and electrodes, torture camps run across the godforsaken wastelands of the United States by religious goddamn fundamentalists that jihadists come to the thought of, that our republic has just kind of idly decided is probably not worth bothering about, as long as the people who contribute to them also contribute more to the NRA and to us.
Yeah. Hey, String Theory, we'll give a recap in a sec. Catch up.
String theories? You live in Texas? Cool. Your governor sucks.
He sucks.
Face might balls.
Ooh, that's better than where I was gonna go. I was gonna go with donkey balls, but that's better.
And yes, I know face might don't technically have balls, but the point stands.
The point stands. I agree. So, yeah. Put Mark Caesar's thing up, please.
The only thing that yes.
Agreed, sir. Yes.
I can't quote statistics to support that final statement, but I would put money on it nevertheless.
I can quote this I can quote an old statistic. I don't know if it's still accurate, and I honestly, if I believed in a God and I prayed, I would pray that it was an old statistic. But
I'm not gonna like this, am I?
Nope. But you've heard it before, so you're not unprepared. It used to be, only 97% of transgender people committed or attempted to commit suicide.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Exactly. So, yeah. And I have shamed members of my own family with that statistic. I didn't say anything else. But when they tried to tell me, I believe a boy is born a boy and a girl is born a girl, I said, yeah, that's fine. People with gender dysphoria, only 97% attempt in their own lives. I'm going to go smoke now because I can't live with you people a decade longer than I need to. Okay, that got a little visceral. Sorry.
Yeah, you got your choice now, boyo. I can go take a smoke break outside, or I can take it right fucking here. What do you want your drapes to smell like in the morning?
Exactly. And also, please don't smoke tobacco. It's stupid. If you're not allergic, smoke marijuana. It's better for you. All right. So moving on. Yeah, what he's done is there's a new law being proposed in Texas by Governor Greg Abbott. And
fuck you, Greg.
Fuck you, Greg. And I got to tell you, I'm upset. I'm upset on a personal level, and this is gonna hit wrong and right in a couple of different ways. But you know this. My parents thought, because ultrasounds were rather primitive in the late 70s when I was born. Yeah, don't worry. I mean, worry, but you know, what the fuck ever. I don't know what to tell you. Shit happened. I don't know what they saw, but it wasn't a penis. They were a bit primitive in the late 70s. My parents thought that they were going to have another boy. My mother was very disappointed because she already had 2 boys and 1 girl, and the 2 boys were destroying the house. And she did not want another boy.
Real quick interjection for the record. Yep. Do not comment on Nevermore's recent statement because YouTube picks up on voices but not images.
I will not.
But I have no comment except to say that I just pulled it up on the screen on my channel and I did not ban you.
I know what that means, and I think that's amazing. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Hey, B. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, B.
Or, I'm sorry, not B.
No, Bree. Oh, my God, Bree.
I'm sorry. I dropped a consonant in my brain because old Judgeshot been drinking for a minute.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry. And also,
it is.
super angry right now, Bree. But thank you Brainbud, thank you so much for showing up. We love you so much, and we need all of it. We need all
Mothman. Mothman.
All right. Anyway, my name was supposed to be Gregory Paul, but I was born with a vagina. Now, so last minute, Julie. Fine, no problem. No, here we go. I'm about to make the connection.
Okay.
I always liked the name Greg.
Oh, dear.
I've been partial to Gregs my entire life because I thought, oh, you know, if I didn't identify, like, if I wasn't like a cis.
Purple. Hey,
Purple. If I wasn't a cis hetero chick, you know, I would, if I was a guy, like, it's not a bad name. I like the name Greg. That's a good name. Don't love Paul. Don't really love Gregory, but I like Greg. Okay. There's a Pope Gregory who was a complete shithead. So but Greg is cool. No more. Greg Abbott ruined it for me. Ruined it because he wants transgender kids and their parents to be fucking terrified. He wants parents to be afraid that their kids are going to be taken away from them for abuse that is not abuse. Because if you support your child's gender identity, you're doing the right thing. You are doing the moral thing. You are not doing the wrong thing. And he's trying to make this draconian, evil law the law of Texas. And that is beyond wrong. It's beyond the pale.
It's fucking despicable.
It's despicable. And
it's predatory.
It is predatory. Thank you.
Especially on the eve of a primary. Early voting for a primary, nonetheless.
No, and that's
this
how you know.
Even Machiavellian. This,
I think it is. I'm going to argue that.
This is beyond Machiavelli. This is actively. I don't have a word for it.
Let me ask you. Well, obscene for one, but let me ask you.
Yes.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, my darling.
Of course.
If you were a conniving politician just wanting to get the most votes possible, running on a GOP ticket in 2022 as the landscape is now in our nation, right? And who are the people most likely to be able to make it to early voting? What's the general demographic, say, in Texas, of people able to go to early voting?
I don't know, but I would guess and say rich white fuckers.
Yep. Absolutely, because they can get the time off work, or they're not working because they're rich, like, or Dallas, they're housewives and or house husbands and have a partner supporting them.
Sure.
They would hate the word partner, but I'm gonna fucking use it just because they'd hate it. Also, so people who go to early voting aren't people working 3 jobs to make ends meet, and the one polling station that they get a legal hour off work on voting day specifically is 45 minutes one way away from them. As you pointed out when we were discussing this earlier, I didn't want to take credit for that statement. That was all John Shaw. So my point is that no, this was strategic. This is some political bullshit. He is going to destroy lives over this. He's going to rip families apart. He's going to harm children.
He's going to cause suicides.
Yeah. And that's not even us being hyperbolic, y'all. The statistics pan out.
I will stand on the math and on my educational background, which is not immense, but not inconsiderable. Greg Abbott has decided to lean so far to the right and to play so hard to the particular fears of a not statistically inconceivable. I lost my word.
Inconceivable.
But fuck it. I'm trying to use words too big for a passion this large. Okay, here's the thing. Greg Abbott has decided in his heart of hearts that he would rather sit his bony ass in the same chair for another 4 years than work, or than sit the same bony ass.
Well, it's not like he can stand. That's a whole other thing. I'm not going there. Look, I'm not making fun of the fact that he's in a wheelchair. I'm not making fun of that. I'm making fun of the fact that he benefits from it, and $19,000 a month he gets money for being in a wheelchair because he was in a terrible car accident. Fine, fair enough, sir. Like, you got fucked up. You deserve compensation. But then once he became governor, he shot down that law so no one else can get compensation in Texas anymore. The same one that he benefits from every goddamn month. So fuck him.
Yep.
Just to be clear. Go ahead, sweetie. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Long and the short of it is, he has picked, he has decided what, who, where, and most importantly, who is expendable. Greg Abbott has decided that a handful of votes in his favor to sit on his ass over here as opposed to over there. Because let's face it, Greggy boy ain't exactly 2 votes away from spending the rest of his life under an overpass. Greg is gonna be fine.
True.
His cracker ass white motherfucking butt is gonna be fine. Dollar wise, psychologically, insofar as he still has a psyche, every other way imaginably that we in the white, relatively affluent West count as worth a good goddamn. His white, straight, cis ass is gonna be fine no matter what happens in early voting tomorrow, no matter what happens in early voting the day after tomorrow, no matter what happens if he decides in 3 days' time he's had enough of the rat race, wants to cash out and go live in Boca.
Don't I wish.
No one will care, least of all him. Everyone knows that fucking remora only lives because something or someone or some grand phenomenon is having a good meal and can't be shat to deal with the scraps. So Greg Abbott oodles along in the shit stream and has a nice meal. And I understand that by characterizing Greg Abbott in that way, I cast an undeserved amount of shade on the long and spectacular and truly evolutionarily remarkable history of the remora fish.
Wait a minute.
And I stand fucking by it.
Okay, Brainbug is laughing their ass off right now, but the rest of us need... Wait, I remember Remora, 7th grade.
Wikipedia is out there.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I just literally remembered the one of the few teachers who tried to teach us evolution without actually saying evolution in rural Kentucky. So oh, bless her. I hope you're still out there and doing well, lady. Yeah, absolutely asexual atheist, and
you are not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Friend.
Nope. Whoops. Wrong one. Sorry. Love you too. Remora fish is what they said, and it's a parasitic fish that I believe sucks blood, or it's the hagfish that does whole organs, right? It doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, toxic masculinity once again ruins the party, and also lives. That's the problem.
That's where we came into this. Thank you for bringing us back to the dance that we started this off spiraling out of.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetie. I'm good for a waltz anytime. I have to have a strong lead, though, because I suck at dancing.
No comment.
Super white. Okay. So that's where we're at. We're pissed. We're angry. We're scared for
children.
We are terrified for the children of Texas, and especially for the trans children of Texas, for their parents who, for the parents, God damn it, this is so hard to talk about because there are trans kids who don't have understanding parents in Texas. That's a thing. But we also know that there are, because they have stood up at town meetings and they have spoken out. Again, if you haven't seen Robert Reed's, I tweeted links to both of his part 1 and part 2 of his open letter to Governor Greg Abbott today.
Fuck you, Greg.
Yeah, fuck your face, Greg. I hate you. But if you haven't seen that, seriously, check it out. He lives in Texas. Robert Reed is also amazing. He's better at this shit than I am.
Either of us.
I just felt, I was like, you know what? 2 more verses. Not verses.
No, I like that.
You
2
like
more
that?
verses in the song can't hurt.
Oh, nice. That is rather poetic, my darling.
I like that.
Do you guys see why I fell in love with this person? It's nice. Okay.
It's like fucking Leonard Cohen with Hallelujah. Who cares if it goes on for 14 verses? The editor takes it down later. We'll keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Junie, you're so right. Yeah,
no, Junie, Jesus, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We're scared for trans kids. And people like that, like fucking Greg Abbott, hashtag fuck you, Greg, are trans folks scared for children. Who is being hurt by some kid being trans? Or by some...
Yeah.
Or some 50-year-old or worse boomer thinks could conceivably be trans, because let's be real. I mean, we are on, I don't fucking know, Twitter and YouTube and Reddit and Yahoo and God only knows what other godforsaken thing has come up in the last month and a half. But look, if Greg Abbott, fuck you, Greg, thinks it's a good idea, A, it's probably not.
Yeah.
And B, if Greg Abbott knows about it, there's worse out there.
Absolutely. And look, y'all, another thing about Greg Abbott is he just keeps getting reelected and reelected and reelected. And we can't go into the specifics of his gerrymandering because we didn't have time to do enough of our research.
But it's bad.
It's bad. We know it's there. We also know, you and I were talking a little bit, just to segue for a second, we're talking about Mitch McConnell. And I've got, my family is mostly in Kentucky, my extended family. And I have a couple of aunts who you want to hear the fucked up shit about Mitch McConnell and how much they hate his goddamn guts. I will put you in touch with both of my aunts if you've got a good 6 hours to listen to a rant. Hold up. What did Asexual Atheist say?
If they cared more about kids, there would be more financial support for families living in poverty.
Fucking men, okay?
Hashtag GOP.
Yeah, exactly. They're not, and actually, one of the biggest not nice people in my life I've ever known said this once, but he was absolutely correct. He said, these people aren't pro-life, they're pro-birth. They don't give a fuck. Yeah, pro-forced birth.
Yep.
They don't give a fuck about anybody once they're born.
Yep.
Because
once you cut the cord, you're on your own.
You're on your own. Better pull yourself up. As long as the cord
is still intact, oh my God, you're a Jesus-given gift to the universe. I'd rather chop mommy's head off than,
or cut you out of her, and also, by the way, give her no prenatal care or prenatal access, so that birth is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
depending
I
on
want to
your
do a whole other
neighborhood.
fucking stream about that. That's your field of expertise.
Well,
mine.
I'm just gonna throw in one more thing because
At least until military age, says Nevermore. You are not kidding.
You are not kidding, Nevermore. I just got to throw out again just another shout out to Choices of Memphis, because what we have there are expert and the vast majority are Black midwives, and these women have managed to cut that was a poor choice of words. I'm sorry. They have managed to reduce the number of emergency C-sections by 80% among Black women in my city. And that,
which is nothing to sneeze at if you take a breath to look at the statistics of this wretched little town masquerading as a big city. Oh my God, the birth-related statistics in this crappy little shithole.
I mean, they're developing world, basically. Like, depending on your socioeconomic status and your racial background, that is what determines it. Your ethnicity and your socioeconomic status. If you don't have money here, God fucking help you if you get pregnant. And sorry, God doesn't exist. So yeah, Black midwives matter. And I know that's gonna sound weird, y'all, but that is actual, like, Choices of Memphis merchandise. I have a tote bag. So I'm not trying to say, yes, Black lives matter, absolutely. Black midwives also fucking matter because they save lives every day. So just throwing it out. Oh fuck, Nevermore, your mom had 8 kids all with a midwife? Shit.
There's part of me that hopes that was the same midwife. That is amazing.
That's amazing. And yeah, that is excellent work. Thank you. But oh my goodness, Nevermore. God, let's just toast to Nevermore's mom just for doing that.
Seriously.
Cheers.
I don't know if you heard that clunk of aluminum against plastic, but seriously, that was a clink.
Yeah, we really need to use. I just didn't want to wash any more glasses. We don't have a dishwasher, so I'm being a little lazy.
No, I respect that.
Thank you. I've caught up. Okay, now we're getting off topic. All right, guys. Last thoughts. Yes, say midwife. Okay, very cool. Nevermore. Thank you.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. That was a fantasy in my head. That's amazing.
I want to write novels about her.
Whoever that person was, I mean, God among men. Oh my
Or
Lord.
goddess. Seriously. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
That was a skilled midwife. Well done.
Save lives, bring lives into the world.
Oof, that's amazing.
Almighty, that's amazing.
But ultimately, it is, you're right. It is all, yeah, cheers to a
well, that's fair. But still.
It's fair, but hopefully it was her choice. I don't know. Yeah, applause to the mom and the midwife, for sure. I mean, I think, have children or don't. Have as many as you want or don't. Just, it's your choice.
But.
Yes, we've gotten off topic.
Sorry. But.
Greg Abbott is an asshole.
And we're not here to do the whole fetus to person thing. Because that's a whole different stream. That's a whole nother, what are we looking at? 54 minutes and 16 seconds.
Oh, good Lord, we've been going that long?
We have.
Whoops.
But.
Sorry, guys.
I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to go full Horton here. A person's a person. And I'm not going to go into the rest of that because that's kind of been co-opted by some icky people that I don't want to deal with right now. But what we're talking about right now is a sexagenarian, cis, white, motherfuckers, Greg, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, you're sectagenarian ass.
Not only disdain, not only disregard, but contempt for human life in the name of one of the most blindingly pedestrian concepts ever invented. Vote counting.
Mm-hmm.
It works for the purpose for which it is intended. When you attempt to translate it into currency, it doesn't really work that good no more.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg Abbott, oh my God, I wish I had thought to pull up his middle name and whatever
I know, right?
Crappy intellectual academic credentials he claims to have sucked down so that I could do it fully.
I just want to be Gregory Paul Abbott, you piece of shit.
So that I could call him out in as full and contemptible, not contemptible, as full and contemptuous a way.
Yeah.
As his borderline Machiavellian approach to human life. Yeah, exactly. String Theory says, just had an article about Abbott pop up on my feed. He wants random citizens to report parents for providing medical care to their children. Well,
yes.
What can you, I mean, I didn't know about that aspect, but what can you fucking expect from this cracker-ass douche nozzle who wants to provide a $10,000 bounty on Uber drivers who transport with or without their knowledge people who are pregnant to facilities that provide life-saving medical care to pregnant people with uteruses.
Yeah, and you know what? I hate making this comparison, but I think it's apt in this moment. And I also want to say to hashtag string theories, I normally don't like all caps, but you're allowed. You are allowed forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that
you're allowed.
100% caps for emphasis. Yeah. Nobody here felt yelled at.
No, we did not.
And if you did, complain in the comments and I'll delete them. I don't fucking care.
I feel like you were yelling with us.
Yelling with us.
Yeah, and
exactly.
that's different. That's different. But I also want to point out asexual atheist comment because yes, these are exactly these
literally.
What's the word?
Tactics.
It begins with an E. It begins with an E. It's a bad word. It begins with an E.
Eugenics.
Eugenics. Yeah, these are eugenics tactics. Exactly.
Yep.
And by the way, yeah,
stamp out the people who are genetically predisposed to do the things that scare us shitless because we don't understand anything that's not straight, white, cis like us.
Right.
Gregory
Wayne Abbott.
Has there ever been a whiter, cis, more? I'm not gonna say anything more about that, and neither are any of us, because I've got entirely too many clown artist jokes going through my head.
Thank you so much, Nevermore. Thank you for finding that out for us in this moment.
Oh, Nevermore.
It's beautiful.
Bless you.
That's beautiful.
Okay,
Gregory Wayne
Abbott, may you rock in some non-existent corner of some non-existent hell that nobody believes in but you!
Governor Abbott. For just a moment, I want you to remember.
Oh, shit.
No, hang on.
We're doing full ASMR. I'm going to bring this mic closer to you.
Bring it to me, okay. Governor Abbott, I want you to remember for a moment your mama's voice. And in this moment, I want you to hear your mama's voice when I say to you, Gregory Wayne Abbott, you done fucked up, and you are in so much trouble. That felt good. All right. If you were going to ASMR that, I should have thought about a better phrase. I didn't know.
And on that note, I think we can rest.
Yeah, I gotta stop. Y'all, I just got diagnosed with hypertension. I can't have an aneurysm tonight. I got work in the morning. Oh, that's a fucked up thing to say. It's very American. Yeah, 43rd in healthcare too, I think. Or 48th or something?
43rd in education. I don't have the statistics off the top of my head.
Go to Robert's thing to get the stats, because he actually lives in Texas and he's got the stats. There to go.
All right. So,
yeah, he's grounded, asexual. He's grounded for life.
Not even a little bit grounded. No phone, no TV, no
game, no Atari or Xbox, whatever the fuck his generation did. I think Atari was my generation, but whatever it is.
Greg Abbott, old as shit. No playing Risk.
No ball and cup toy. No ball in the cup toy.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, well, we need to thank them for listening to us.
On that note, we've been going for fractionally over an hour, and I think
no internet.
No internet. Yeah. Oh God, please, somebody deny Greg Abbott access to the internet.
No social media.
Except maybe not, because I kind of want to still know what he's like. Fucking who's my boy that creeps me out so much? Stephen Miller.
I was about to say which one.
Greg Abbott has kind of become my bargain basement Stephen Miller. He's kind of like the creepy douchebag on the world stage that I wish didn't exist, but I really want to keep an eye on, because if there's a wasp in the room, as much as I hate to say it, to quote C.S. Lewis, if there's a wasp in the room, I want to be able to see it.
Fair.
Keep that fucker out in the open. Keep the spotlight on him. And as angry as this has gotten, and as at times unpleasant and ad hominem as this has gotten, well, fucking Greg deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
But that aside, if you rode with us this far, you're part of the team. If you need help, please reach out.
Yes, please.
To someone, to anyone.
Fuck, reach out to me.
To us.
Oh, that's so sweet. Sorry, I didn't see it before you showed it on the screen. Go ahead.
To me.
Yeah, to Julie Wine and Reason, Julie Jayla Voice at Twitter, please. Julie La Voice on Facebook. I don't give a fuck anymore. All right, my name is incredibly unusual, and it's my actual fucking name because I'm stupid and I didn't think of a cool alias when I was laid off in 2020 and started becoming an activist. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I mean, they all know it anyway.
It is.
Yeah, it is what it is. At this point, I can't go back.
But look, here's the thing. People, and I can't boldface or italics that enough. People are hurting. And people need support.
And children and their parents.
Regardless of that useless excuse for a human, Greg Wayne Abbott, does or doesn't do or pretend to do to win votes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know those people who need help or who need support, it is incumbent upon you as a human being,
upon all of us,
to provide that support and to make it known that you are willing so to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you are the person, as I sort of threw away the line before, a person's a person, no matter how. If you are the person who needs help, support, what have you, there are people who can, and more importantly, there are people who will provide that support, or if they cannot, know where it can be found.
Yes. Yeah. Secular Therapy Project, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we will rest.
Yeah.
I
have to calm down so I can go to sleep.
Yeah. Amen and amen.
To be up early in the morning.
And everybody, as always, just remember, you may not find truth in wine,
but you may find it in reason. And
stand against hate.
Love y'all.
Love from Memphis, y'all.